Hi, good morning, everyone. So we've been talking a lot about shapes. Some shapes we know are squares, we know some circles, and we know some triangles. So Jasmine and I thought really hard, and we realized, why don't we do a painting about squares? And so we found this artist. His name is Pete Mondrian, and he has this square painting. And I want to see if we can make our own square painting. So in your activity box, you'll have a canvas. Ooh, Alicia misplaced her canvas. You should have a blank canvas. You may have some cardstock, this heavy hard paper. And of course that picture, the square picture. And to make that painting, you can either put tape on it, or you can draw it, or a family member can draw it. It's up to you. Alicia actually taped hers. You can use whatever color tape you have, whatever color masking tape you have. So I have black masking tape, but maybe later I want to use blue masking tape. And I might use crayons instead of paint. It's up to you. So Alicia's going to start painting. So I have my paper underneath. That's this brown stuff to keep my surface clean, my table clean, so I don't get paint on it. And I can use whatever color I want. My favorite colors are yellow, red, and orange. So I'm going to use red, orange, and yellow. I want to make sure my paintbrush is soft. So I'll dip it in some water, make sure it's nice and soft, and then I can get to painting. I know we sent home paint palettes, so you can put paint on your palette and start painting and get to work. So it doesn't matter how you paint it, just get started. So I'm going to start with my red. And I'll dip, 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 and dab, and I'll just paint along it. And it's okay if I get it on those black lines on top of the tape. It's okay. It doesn't have to stay in the lines. It can be on top of the lines if I want, or all over. And I think I want to make this corner red too. So I'll paint the top of it red. And like Alicia said, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can paint it however you like. There. And let's say I want to make this middle one orange. So I'm going to rinse my paintbrush in my cup of water that's over here. That's this one here. Rinse, rinse, rinse. Rinse, rinse, rinse. Because I don't want it to get mixed up. It'll change the color if I mix it. Then I'm going to dry it. And let's make that middle one orange. Let's see. So I'll mix it, mix it. Alicia's paint got a little separated. And then I can start painting that middle one. Oops. And this one will be orange. Paint, paint, paint. I'll move it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I want to make sure I get it all over it. Back and forth, then back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And if you get paint on your hand, that's okay too. Sometimes the paint feels slippery and I don't like it. It might be helpful to have paper towel near you just in case you don't like the way it feels. You can go up and down too, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. There. And let's say I wanted to add yellow. Maybe I can add yellow here and yellow there. So I'll rinse my paintbrush again. Rinse, 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 rinse. Rinse, 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 rinse. This is the fun part when you get to put it in the water and mix it all around. Rinse, rinse, rinse. And then I can dry it off again. Now I'm going to add some yellow. So I'll dip it in my paint palette again. And if you don't have a paint palette, you can use cardboard like Alicia did. That's okay too. And like I said, if you don't want to use paint, you can use your crayons, you can use markers, you can use colored pencils, whatever you like, you can use. Doesn't have to be paint. Sometimes paint is too messy for some friends, and that is okay. And then I'll paint this side yellow. And once it's all dry, maybe I want to lift up all the tape. See? And now it's all covered. You think we should color this one too? Maybe. What color should I paint that part? I'm wondering, should we use up the rest of our red? Should we use orange or maybe yellow? I'm thinking maybe we can just leave it. We don't have to paint everything if we don't want. That's okay too. So I'm going to let my painting dry and then we'll see how it looks. So remember what Alicia said before, it doesn't have to be on canvas. We can do it on paper too. So I'm going to take my blue tape and tape it on my paper. I will take a long line of tape and just tape it across my paper. I'll just tape it across my paper like this. And then I'll fold it over like that, so it doesn't come up while I'm coloring. And I can just keep doing that for my entire paper. So here I taped it, and I used some long lines and some short lines of tape, and I ripped some of my tape in half and taped it here and taped it there and all over. And now that it's completely taped up, I'm going to color it in with some crayons. So you have big chunky crayons. I have smaller ones that I got in my KiwiCo kit, so I think I'm going to use those. So here you can see I started to color. I started to color in this area. I color this side purple, and I can color this side purple too. And I can press down really hard so I can make the marks. And just scribble back and forth. Now parents, as you watch your kids color, take note of how they're holding a crayon. Are they holding it like this, or with their whole hand, or moving their arm back and forth as they color, or are they just moving their hand? And I'm going to keep on scribbling. Maybe I'll color this one purple too. And you don't have to just color back and forth. You can do lines like this, little circular lines, circle marks, and maybe some zigzags too. Maybe some zigzags too. Maybe I'll put some green in here as well. I can use some green. Maybe that will look interesting. And I can go up and down, 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 up and down. And all around, all around. Maybe I can put some more green over here. And I'll scribble back and forth here. And I'll press down as hard as I can. And you know what? If I don't like the way the crayon looks, that's okay. I can also use markers for this too. But I think for now, I'm just going to stick to my crayons. And you know, Alicia will add yellow because she loves yellow so much. So I'll maybe color with some yellow over here. And it kind of reminds me of a garden, just a little bit. And sometimes the crayons are very light, so you may want to use marker instead. And here's my artwork. Here's my painting that I used the paint with. And then here's the cardstock that I used a combination. I used markers and crayons. Now, if you want, you can peel it off, some of the tape off, to see the squares. So that's what I'm going to do with this one, because I'm really waiting for my painting to dry completely before I peel it off. So I'm just going to peel the tape off. And look, there's squares and rectangles too. Or you can leave it. It's your choice. I might want to just put it right back here so I can see it. I want to see your pieces when they're all done. Please show me. Bye.